The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right. Hey, everybody. If you can hear me on this webinar and see my screen, just put a little comment there in the questions box so I know that you can hear and see me. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Bill Carney. Very nice of you. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us get started. And I just ask that you bear with me a little bit. We've got some pollen and stuff kicking up here in beautiful Southern California. So I've got a little scratchy throat and I'll be drinking plenty of water. So again, I apologize for the interruption. So first and foremost, welcome to the Fitness Business Accelerator Program coaching webinar number 3. Let's get started, right? Now, I want to recap things we talked about last month on the webinar before we dive into what we're going to talk about this time around. And last month we talked about what I consider some pretty critical stuff, and I don't know if you guys see the value in that or not. And if not, let me explain it to you quickly. One of the biggest things that produces anxiety for entrepreneurs, whether you're a personal trainer, whether you're a you're a shoe cobbler, you're a tailor, you're a florist, is the number of tasks that you and I have on our plate to do, right? I mean, you and I pretty much do a lot of the things that keep the machine going. And when we have anxiety, the tasks, the process, the profits, the marketing, everything slows down when there's this extreme level of anxiety. Now, ironically, one of the greatest ways to cure and overcome that anxiety is through action. So, one thing that's always kind of fared well for me is this little saying that goes, "Action alleviates anxiety." And we talked about this last month, but I really want to impress this upon you today. And that's that. With that action, you've got nothing. You're just going to be stressed out. You're going to be anxious. You're going to be flying by the seat of your pants, and you'll be making a lot of bad decisions, a string of bad decisions, which you might chalk up to circumstance, but in reality, it'll be a string of bad decisions based on inaction and anxiety. So the solution to that is take massive action. Now, the promotion that we talked about last time, and I hope you guys ran this promotion, was the Fitness Ambassador Program. Many of my coaching clients in the 7-Figure Formula Mastermind group ran the Fitness Ambassador program, and it did really well for them. The entire email sequence and the promotion model is on the Fitness Business Accelerator membership site for you to access and run. The other thing I talked about, which I think, quite frankly, I prefer over just lead boxes, is the Shock and Awe gift box. And if you remember, the Shock and Awe gift box here is super cool because rather than putting 20, 30, 40, 50 lead boxes out in different businesses in your community, what you're doing is you're really hand-picking specific businesses that, one, serve your ideal clientele, two, you built and established a great rapport and relationship with, and three, you know that they would refer to you and that you will refer to them. And by taking these gift baskets that are worth, $150, $200 and putting it in these stores, which is a real big shock and awe factor, and getting people to fill out the forms to win the gift basket, you're obviously going to produce a very fair number of quality leads. And when it comes to a promotion like this, it's the quality leads we want versus just random names and email addresses in a lead box where you have to sift through that. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a place for lead boxes, but I truly believe if I were to start all over again, rather than all the lead boxes that I had put out throughout San Diego County, I would have much rather picked, 4 or 5 specific businesses that I built a relationship and rapport with and put these shock and awe gift baskets in and gotten far better qualified leads. Now, the last thing we talked about last time around was tracking your metrics. Now, it's kind of like GPS, right? If you don't know where you want to go, you can't really put an address in your GPS. And so if you just say, hey, I want to be rich, or I want to have a lot of clients, I want to be financially secure, all of that is fantastic, but it's very vague and general. That's like saying, well, I want to go to a destination spot for a vacation. Without an address put into my GPS, what destination spot am I going to? How long is it going to take me to get there? How much fuel will I need? How much money will I need to buy that fuel? All of those metrics can be drawn out once you have them in place. So the things that I want you to really focus on tracking is your set, show, close percentage. How many new appointments you have, consultation appointments you have set, how many of those set appointments show up, how many of them you closed, right? And then the next thing we talk about is a client lifetime value. If you know that your average client stays with you for 8 months, and if you know that they pay you, let's say $200 a month, well, then we know the average lifetime value of a client is $1,600, right? $1,600. Now, knowing that, would I be willing to put a full page ad in a local newspaper or publication that goes to, let's say, 15,000 homes that happens to cost me $1,600? Absolutely. Why? Because I know that even if I get one client from that thing, I'm going to break even. Granted, I'm going to break even at the end of 8 months, unless I sell the person the paid in full program, but I'm going to break even, right? And any person I get above that, so if I get the second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th client from that ad, that's all gravy. That's all money in the bank, right? So I want you to really be able to track your marketing, and the only way you can track your marketing and know if the money you're spending is worth this particular ad or postcard or Facebook campaign or pay-per-click ad is if you can identify your client lifetime value. And of course, finally, I want you to look at your attrition rate. What is your attrition rate? How can we improve it? Attrition just means how many people drop off each month. So if every month you're gaining 10 people into your personal training business or your boot camp, and you're having 3 people drop off, all right, well, great, we got 3 people dropping off. How can we do it where we have 2 people dropping off? What happens when we have 5 people dropping off? See, if you know that on average you have 3 people dropping off each month, but you're putting in 7 people for every 3 that drop off, hey, no big deal, right? But if you never track it, you don't know what's a good attrition rate or a bad attrition rate. So one month you might have 12 people drop off and you'll panic. But if you have a trend set and you're tracking that trend, then you won't panic. So moving on to the next thing here, of course, last and final thing we talked about last time around on the webinar was your most wanted action from your website. Your website is not there to be an online flyer or an online business card. There's only 2 very specific features and functions that your website is going to do. And one of those things is to either sell a low barrier product, right? So it might sell, for our Fit Body Bootcamp locations, we offer 4 sessions, a nutrition program, and a fat loss report for $29, right? We know that when we sell that for $29, that's a better qualified lead than when we just offer a free week of boot camp. Now, we'll take those better qualified leads at $29. However, if they don't do our most wanted action, then our second most wanted action is to get those people as a lead for our Fit Body Bootcamp owners, which is why we have an opt-in on the upper right-hand corner of our websites. And so they can opt in for a free report, give us their email address, and now they're on that location's email list. And over time, they'll get to know, like, and trust that bootcamp owner and hopefully get on board and become a paying client. So what is your most wanted action from your website? 1, to sell a low barrier offer. 2, to become a lead. Maybe 3, to fill out that free consultation form. Outside of that, they shouldn't be clicking on a link that goes to a blog. They shouldn't be clicking on a link that promotes your Mona V product or your Isogenics product or your other multi-level marketing product. All that stuff you can market to them later once you have the person on your list. But if you spent all this time, money, and energy and effort into getting traffic to your website, let's make sure that your website converts by doing one of those 2 things. All right? So with that in mind, let us move on to the lessons of this webinar. And as you know, I always like to kind of start out with some mindset lessons, because without having your mind dialed in, anything I give you is going to be counterproductive and quite possibly get sabotaged subconsciously because you're not going to be in the right mindset. So I want to first tune your mind in on this, and I'm a big believer in that. I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. I read and listen to Psycho-Cybernetics all the time, and I believe you should too. Let me just grab a sip of water here. All right, so first and foremost, I want you to understand something about your mindset. Success is attracted to action, right? If you want to be successful, you have to always be doing something. In fact, in my business, during our busiest seasons, when it's around Fitness Business Summit or having a big launch for a product, I say there's always controlled chaos around me, right? And the more controlled chaos we can produce, the more successful we are. The more personal trainers I can help, the more money I will make, and the better the lifestyles will be of the people I serve, as well as my employees and my family, right? If there's no action, odds are there's no success, right? People aren't just going to give you money for doing nothing. You have to be a value adder, a value provider. So always remember to take multiple actions in any specific direction that's going to produce an outcome. The outcome is get people results by way of fat loss, get them in better shape, make them stronger, make them more confident, make them sexier, whatever it is that you promote, whatever the big hook is in your business, the big USP, unique selling proposition, you've got to put action towards that via marketing, via selling, via getting the word out through referrals so that you can attract success. Now, the next thing I want you to understand, and I'm beginning to hear a lot about this from people saying, well, I don't want to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. I just want to be well off. And I was challenging, well, define what comfortable is. Today, comfortable might be, a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment, because you might be a trainer who lives on your own, you're single, maybe have a boyfriend or girlfriend, and that's it. I was in that position once. But all of a sudden, your comfort levels change when you get married, and your comfort levels certainly change, and your desire for money changes, or your need for money changes when you have a child. You're going to want a bigger place. You'll probably want a second car. You're going to want to get, at least some basic fun things for your kids and your family, right? Vacations and holidays. And all of that takes money. But understand that money is one simple thing. Money is not bad. Money is not evil. Money is none of that. Money is simply a vehicle to freedom. That's it. Money is a vehicle to freedom. And the more money you can accumulate by delivering value to people around you and the people that you serve, the more freedom that you'll win, right? Think about that. Money does one simple thing, and that thing is to buy you more time. And time equals freedom. And if there was any other thing that would buy me more time, well, I would try and get more of that. But right now, in today's society, money is that thing. So if you have this fear of money, if you have this hang up about money, if you have this weird relationship with money because of your childhood or what mom and dad told you about get a good job, don't be all about the money, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, what mom and dad told us is wrong. That was a different era, a different generation. Today, we understand that money is a vehicle to freedom, and as long as you're adding value to the people that you serve, to the industry that you work in, there's nothing wrong with money because it takes you to the lifestyle that you want. So please, please, please get over that financial hang-up, because otherwise you'll be sabotaging everything you do for yourself. Now, that said, opportunity is not given, it's taken. And I think I got this a long time ago from a Chinese proverb, which is really neat. And it's simply that opportunity is not given, it's taken, right? And so all of us can say, well, gosh, if just the right opportunity came along, it was given to me, I could be a successful personal trainer, I could market more, I could have more clients, I could deliver more value. Well, listen, I don't know what you're waiting for. Quite frankly, if you want the opportunity, go out there and take it. Make it for yourself. Be the better trainer in your community. Be the more vocal one in your community. Produce the better results, the better before and after pictures. Get more involved in your community, right? Adopt a family this Christmas, this holiday season, and do something, collect some money for them by having a free boot camp or training program. There's a lot you can do that will produce opportunity for you rather than sitting around and waiting for opportunity. So if your mindset is how mine used to be well over a decade ago, where I would sit around and go, gosh, I wish I was given an opportunity. These days, you've got to make your own opportunity. You've got to take your own opportunity by being unique, different, special, and outperforming and outpositioning yourself above and beyond any other trainer in the community. And so with that, of course, there's something that good old Zig Ziglar said, which always stays with me. And he said, when you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. And I believe that's a universal law that has provided people lifestyle and money and time and comfort for years, for decades, for generations. It's just a natural fact that when you help enough people get what they want, you will always get what you want, because people will always reciprocate and help you out. And that's just the way the world functions. And I'm really happy about that, because we are all in the business of helping others, right? So let's talk about time management and productivity. I believe it all starts here. Once we have your mindset dialed in, once we know that you don't have this weird hang up about money and finances and you don't think that money's bad, well, this next thing is time management and productivity. Because with Facebook and with Twitter and with YouTube and with Pinterest and with your email and with all this other crap that can inundate and make you feel busy but not productive, you'll end up going through your day thinking you actually did something, but in reality no productivity was produced. So time management and productivity is important. So I challenge you, I ask you, is what you're doing worth your time? And a great example of that is fitness evaluations, right? You obviously have to do fitness evaluations at your training center with your clients. You know, is it worth your time to do fitness evals that you could otherwise outsource to somebody else for $10 an hour, right? While you can work on higher value tasks. It just makes sense. But oftentimes we forget and we fall into this trap of stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. And so we end up doing the things that aren't necessarily in our 5%. And the things that aren't in your 5% is doing a fitness eval on a client that someone else can do that you would pay $10 to. And that 1 hour a month or those 2 hours a month that you would spend on doing fitness evals, you can spend on higher value stuff that a $10 an hour employee couldn't do. Such as putting together better marketing systems, deploying the shock and awe gift baskets, right? You know, crafting or at least putting together the email broadcast that I've created for you so you can send it out and make more money through the Fitness Ambassador program. All those things that you can do that are higher value in those 1 or 2 hours per month if you just let go of fitness evals and paid somebody $10 to do them for you. Now think how many other tasks there are like that in your business that you are doing that you should be outsourcing. And that's what I ask you when I ask. That's what I mean when I say, you know, are you doing the things, the things that you're doing? Are they worth your time? If they're not, please outsource them quickly. Now, another thing you need to figure out is, do you start your day with a list of things to do, or do you start off with anxiety because you have to wing it? Right? I used to be one of those guys where I would go into my wake up on a Monday morning, go into my facility, my flagship facility in Escondido, California, which is a suburb of San Diego. And for me, it was okay. Once I sat down, it's like, all right, so where do I start? And this anxiety would wash over me because I had no list. I knew that there were several things to do, but it was more like a garbage can of ideas versus a filing cabinet of finely organized tasks. And once I learned that I could get a simple steno pad and write down everything I need to do before I get to my office or before I sit in front of the computer or wherever it is that I get my work done, on the steno pad I just list off, I create a list of things to do before I ever start my day. Then you take that list of things to do and you put them in the order of priority, right? Things of their highest value. So if there's 5 things I need to do today, if I need to write a blog post, I need to send out some emails to my business partners and some of my coaching clients, and I need to do some phone calls, and I need to make some YouTube videos, and I need to write sales copy. Well, I would ask myself, of these 5 things I've got to do today, which is the highest priority that adds the greatest amount of value to my business? Odds are it's going to be the emails to my business partners and my coaching clients. So I would do that first and then go down to the second thing, third thing, fourth thing in priority. So that if I don't get around to writing a blog post, no big deal. But if I do, awesome. And there's nothing more satisfying than crossing off things off your list as you get through. And I love the feeling of going through all 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 different things at the end of the day and feeling like you've really accomplished something. So I hope that you're actually making lists and going through it. Because the next thing we need to talk about here is when you make these lists, you want to do them during your most productive time. And my good friend Craig Ballantyne talks about your magic time, right? Now you got to find your magic time and you've got to guard it with your life. Your magic time is that hour or two that you're most productive and creative. What you want to do is you want to isolate yourself from everybody and everything. You want to isolate yourself from all interruptions. You're going to shut down your emails, your Facebook. You're going to turn off your phone, and you're going to get rid of all distractions, and you're just going to get shit done, right? GSD. And in those 1 or 2 hours, you're going to be blown away with how productive you can be. Now, for some people, that might be 11, 12, 1 a.m., right? 11 or 12 at night or 1 a.m. Other people might be in the middle of the day. For Craig Ballantyne, I know it's like at 3:30 or 4:30 in the morning to like 5:30 in the morning. For me, my magic hour is between 7 and 9 a.m. And that's usually when I get my blog posts done, my most creative thinking happens, my best copy gets written. And so I isolate myself in my backyard. My kids have already gone to school. I don't go to the office where I'm going to get interrupted by my staff. I isolate myself in my backyard in a chair, right? Hanging out by the pool. And I get my best work done in that magic hour. And then I head to the gym. Then I come to the HQ to take on the day, right? And so you've got to identify when your magic hour is, your magic time is, and really plow for those 1 or 2 hours, and you'll get so much done. And the quality of work you get done in that time with zero distractions, zero interruptions, just amazing. And I want you to really guard that time with your life. And if that means you having to literally go to a bookstore or go to a Starbucks at 5 a.m. to get this, your magic time, do it. Whatever it takes, do it. Now, let's talk about getting leads for your business. So we talked about a lot of different lead getting strategies during the last 2 webinars. And we talked about print ads. We talked about referral systems. We talked about email list building and also marketing to your email list with sequential broadcasts. But there's really another way to get quality leads, and that place is Facebook. Now, it takes a little bit of time and patience to tweak your Facebook process, at least a paid version, because there are 2 ways to get good traffic from Facebook. The first way is free, absolutely free. The second way is paid traffic. So let's look at the free version first, because I think it's the easiest one, the lowest hanging fruit that all of you can do first thing tomorrow morning. Here's how it works. First of all, when your clients are working out, you're going to take a picture of your clients, right? Now you can do this thing without taking a picture of your clients. So if your client has a hang up about, having their picture taken, don't take their picture. But otherwise, there's nothing wrong with busting out your iPhone or your Android or whatever camera that you have and just take a picture of them working out, like really busting their ass. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to post the picture you took on your client's Facebook wall, and you're going to give them genuine props and recognition. So, for example, you might say, you really brought the energy today, Mrs. Jones. Thanks for being such an awesome client, Bedros, right? And then I would put a picture of her doing, let's say, walking lunges or something, or there might not be a picture. Now, what's going to happen is friends of your clients will begin to comment and like the post that you put up on her wall. Now, when they do, this is where you reach out to them via private message and you invite them to a free workout, right? Now, you're not just going to reach out to every single person who likes or comments on your client's wall, because if you are in, Omaha, Nebraska, and their Aunt Millie from Idaho commented, you really have no business reaching out to Aunt Millie in Idaho and inviting them for a free week of workouts, right? They're just not going to come. However, what you are going to do is you're going to do a little research, and this is perfect thing for your assistant to do for a whopping $10 per hour, is you're going to reach out to their Facebook profiles first, to the people who liked and commented, and you're going to actually go into their info section and see if they're local. Are they local within your community, within your town? Are they neighbors? Are they friends? Are they local family? Are they their coworkers who are liking and commenting? If so, then you reach out to them with this script, right? Via private message, by the way, not on their wall. So you private message a person, and let's say the person's name is Janice. So I would say, hi Janice, thank you so much for leaving a comment, or if they liked it, or for liking the picture I put up on, Mrs. Jones's Facebook wall. Since Mrs. Jones is my personal training client and also your friend, and since you're so supportive of her and her workouts, I'd like to offer you a free week to come and work out at my facility here in, Fit Body Boot Camp, Chino Hills, at my training center. Would you like to start your workouts this week or next week? So you always end it with an option of 1 or 2. You don't end that script with, So what do you think? When do you want to start? Because they may say never, they may say next month, they may say whatever, right? So you always end it with your call to action. Would you like to start your workout this week or next week? Now this message, I want you to use exactly like that. Of course, fill in the blanks where I have the blanks there for you, because this has been tested, tried, and proven, right? This has been one of the best lead generating systems for us, because what you're doing is you're tapping into your client's network of friends, which is a super duper powerful platform thing to do on a platform such as Facebook. And the way I've written this message, it totally identifies who you are, what you do, what you and this new person that you're contacting have in common, which is the client, right? Why you're contacting them. And if you ever have read Robert Cialdini's book, Influence, you know that giving people a reason why you're contacting them is just as important as the what, as in the what you're giving them. And so we tell them why we're contacting them, because they're so awesome and supportive of their friend. You want to contact them and reach out to them and give them a free week to try out at your fitness center, the same place where their friend and your client is working out. And then, of course, the call to action is, would you like to start your workout this week or next week? Because by giving them an option of two, they're more likely to pick one or the other. Now, imagine if you just did this for 3 or 4 clients per day, right? You don't want to do all your clients in one day, because that's going to look pretty obvious what you're doing. And, we really want to come with genuine, props and recognition for your clients. So imagine if you just did this 2, 3 clients per day, right? And imagine if just one person, one of their referrals, one of their Facebook network friends reached out to you and said, hey, yeah, you know what? I want to do this thing next week. Gosh, I mean, this could easily give you another 15 to 20 leads per month, very qualified leads that you would get for your training business or your boot camp with zero cost to you. The only cost would be time, ideally on the behalf of your assistant or your administrative assistant, and not on your behalf. And quite frankly, your assistant can do the whole thing. All you have to do is pass the picture along to your assistant, and they can tag them. Excuse me. They could tag them on the wall, leave the comment, reply, and send a private message as though they were you, right, through your Facebook account. And so as far as anyone's concerned, you're the one leaving these messages, and you're the one communicating with the network that is your client's network. So it's a really cool, powerful, and effective way to get leads at zero cost to you, and something you can do first thing tomorrow morning after you train your first handful of clients. Onward. So how do we buy leads from Facebook? Well, as someone that spends $23,000 a month on getting traffic from Facebook, I can tell you that you're going to have a tiny bit of frustration. And I'm serious when I say it's a tiny bit, because it's really kind of fun. And Facebook is not as challenging as it used to be to buy ads. And so I'm going to show you the entire process right now. I'm even going to give you the ad that you're going to run, right? The headline and everything. And that's just the starter. And then you're going to start testing different variables. And that's, again, what this coaching program is all about, so that you can reach out to myself and to Cable and to Fernando and ask us, like, hey, I ran this ad, I'm getting this response, but I think we can improve it. What would you change? The picture, the copy, or the headline? And I'll show you all that in a second. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to your Facebook wall, and you're going to scroll down to the very bottom of the page, or you're going to go to the very top, and you'll see a little link that says advertising. So you're going to go to advertising section. Step 2 is you're going to click the green create ad button. Once you do that, you're going to craft an attention-grabbing headline. And they only give you so much characters for that, and you'll see in just a moment. Thing after that is you're going to craft an offer that they can't refuse, right? Either a great promise or some kind of a compelling offer that they can't refuse. Step number 5 is you're going to select your target market and your demographics. So if your target market is men, it's women, it's in the city of Chino Hills, it's in the city of Pomona. Is it men between the ages of 35 and 50? Or are they busy executives? Or is it stay-at-home moms between the ages of, let's say, I don't know, 28 and 60, right? Whoever your demographics are. And what's really cool about Facebook is it lets you hyper segment your market. And then you can test small and roll out big. Just like we talked about with the postcards and the print ads, you're going to do the same thing here. You can test small and roll out big. So you can set your budget to like $10 a day and do it, have it run for 10 days. A whopping $100 is going to give you a pretty good outcome. It's going to tell you whether the ad is performing, if it's getting you leads, if these leads are any quality or not. Because for 10 days, you're going to spend $10 a day, $100, and I don't know of a better way to actually test something out than investing $100 on it, which is really nothing, right? So you're going to track these leads and follow up. So let's look at this. Now here's what I did. Yesterday I took the time to go and make this mock Facebook ad, and I just used my coaching client Josh Carter's website, carterfitness.com, and I know he's in West Hills, California. So here's how the ad looked, and in just a minute, hopefully I won't screw up this whole webinar business, but in just a minute I'm going to pull up my Facebook page and I'm going to show you how to easily go through the demographics. But first and foremost, look at this. The ad says, the headline is fitness workouts are fun. That's it. That's it. It's a good place to start. Fitness workouts are fun. Now, since I'm marketing this in the city of West Hills, in my ad, I want to put the name of the city in there. People will relate to their city, right? So West Hills Fit Body Boot Camp, burn fat, tone up, boost your metabolism, and look what else I did. And they actually approved this ad. I put the phone number in here. Now, why did I do this? Not a lot of people can figure this thing out. The reason I put the phone number in here is if someone might see this ad and just call me directly, right? And they don't click the ad, I never paid the $1.53, or typically it's going to be around $2 when it gives you $1.53 to $3.48 per click, right? It's going to be about $2. So I never really will pay for the click if they call me and never click on the ad. So if you can, it's always good to tuck your phone number into your Facebook ad so that people will call you and you're essentially getting free advertising from Facebook, right? Now what's really cool is you want to use a picture that has to do with fitness, but it's kind of obscure and weird and kind of attention grabbing to get people to click and to capture their attention. Because if you remember, on your Facebook wall, those ads are on the right-hand side. So here's what I did. I created this ad. That's the headline, that's the copy, and that's the picture. Real simple, and we're sending it to carterfitness.com, and Josh Carter has a great website with a consultation form on there, and that's his most wanted action is for you to fill out that consultation form. His second most wanted action is for you to fill out your email address and get the free report. Now, I said, all right, show me women, female, between the ages of 30 and 59, which is his target demographic, in West Hills, California only. And Facebook goes, hey, I can show your ad to 3,280 very targeted people. Well, fantastic. I mean, these are people in his city, in the right gender, right age group, and 3,200 people, almost 3,300 people. So I said, all right, hey, let's spend $20 a day. $20 a day. Now, if it's an average of $2 per click, right? I think I did the math here. Let's assume that it's, you're paying an average of $2 per click, because it's between $1.50 and $3 and something. So that means you're getting 10 people a day to come to your site, right? 10 people a day. So let's assume of the 10 people that come, and I'm going to be very pessimistic here. So let's assume that of the 10 people that come to your site, 3 of them, of the 10, actually fill out the consultation thing and set an appointment with you, right? So that's, remember your set, show, close we talked about? Of the 10 each day, 3 of them actually set an appointment. Now let's assume that one of those 3 people only, just 1/3 of those 3 people who set an appointment, buys a program for you at $197 a month. Well, that's not too shabby, is it? I mean, you just spent $20 to make $197 a month, right? Even if that was a one-time thing, I'd be doing that all day long, right? Now, this only works if you have a strong follow-up, trial, and conversion process. In other words, if someone went to Josh's page right now, carterfitness.com, and they filled out their name and email address, and Josh didn't follow up till 4 days later, that lead is now cold, right? I mean, they are most hottest in that moment. So if you can follow up immediately with an autoresponder, and then if you can capture their phone number, ask them to call you, or you call them, then you're set. And if you can't reach them, you keep following up with email and phone call, and you get them into a trial program, and then once they're trying out your program for, 3, 4, 5 sessions, then you have a conversion process. You use a closed client system to convert them into paying clients. You've got to have a funnel that's highly effective, tied, pretty much no loose ends, so that you're not losing these quality leads that are coming into your business. Otherwise, you're going to go, hey, my Facebook ads don't work, when in reality, it's your follow-up process that sucks. And so I really want to impress this upon you that follow-up is critical when you're doing running Facebook ads and driving traffic to your website where people are going to set an appointment, come in, and get closed. You are the one that has to follow up with them and get that appointment set. Make sure that they come in. So you're going to call them and confirm their appointment the night before, the day before. You're going to call them and email them. And if you can text them, I would text them too, so that they can come in the next day, so that you can give them a trial workout, and then you can sit them down and sell them on one of your programs, right? I mean, that's what we're there for, to add value to their lives and to put more money in your bank account and to help influence people in your community and help them get in better shape. So with that said, what I want to do is, and I'll come back to this page in just a second. Let's see if I can. I'm going to hit escape. If this hangs up on you, I apologize. All right, I think you're still there. So we are going to go to my Facebook wall here. All right, so here's where I did this, and here's the ad that you see that I made for Josh, and I've got it on pause because, well, I'm not going to spend 20 bucks a day to run traffic to Josh's website, but I might tell him to do this, and I think he's already running something like this. So I've got it paused, but I'm going to click edit so you can see, and this is exactly what you would see, by the way. I'm just going to close this little thing. So right from here, you can see where it says manage ads, right? That's where you're going to go to manage ads, or in your case, to create an ad if you don't have an ad. But in my case, I've created one. So when you go to it, all this is empty, and you fill it in. You fill in a headline, fitness workouts are fun. You fill in your copy, just like I did here, and you're welcome to just swipe this copy and fill it in. And you can go to Google Images and look for some people working out, or if you have some pictures of people working out in your facility, you just upload. Real easy. Took me about 30 seconds, this whole part. And then I said, all right, show me United States, show me the city, and I typed in West Hills, and I could type in Chino Hills, right? If I wanted to do Chino Hills as well, right there, and I want to take out West Hills, I could. So in Chino Hills, this says there's 12,600 women between the ages of 30 and 59. So if Kara Eckerman wanted to run this for her Fit Body Bootcamp location, this is what she would do, right? And we can say, hey, show this ad to cities within 10 miles of Chino Hills. Now in this case, we don't want to, because look how that number grew. It grew to 89,000 people. Quite honestly, there's a lot of cities around Chino Hills. So I'd rather just market to a smaller, more targeted group right there, right? And then we went to the age group. So let's go back to West Hills. Actually, it doesn't matter. I've got the thing on pause anyway. But you look at the age, right? 30 to 59, and you could pick whatever age group your average clients are. But in this case, I picked 30 to 59. And I said, hey, show us women only. Forget about the precise interests and any of that stuff. Don't even waste your time on it. Connections, just leave it with set to anyone, right? And you can review this because we're recording this for you. And of course, finally, I said, hey, just show us $20 per day. So run this ad to the tune of $20 per day. And I could bring that down to 10. I can bring that down to $5 a day, right? I mean, you could do whatever you want. I'm a big fan of at least $10 or $20 a day so we can get good scientific feedback quickly rather than waiting a month to actually get some feedback. Now, there's two ways you can do your campaign structure. You can say, hey, cost per click, and if you see it says, excuse me, cost per click is a, excuse me, losing my voice here. Cost per click is $1.97, right? Or I can say, hey, cost per impressions, CPM. Cost per impressions, which just means it's going to charge you 28 cents for 1,000 impressions. So it doesn't charge you when people click. For every 1,000 times that it shows your ad to this targeted group, it will charge you 28 cents. So some things you're going to play around with, maybe for 10 days, you're going to keep this thing at cost per click and see how many leads you get for $20. And then for the next 10 days, you're going to keep it at cost per impressions at $20 and see how many leads you get, right? And if cost per impressions get you 12 leads per day versus cost per click gets you 10 leads per day, guess what? You're going to set this bad boy on cost per impressions. That's it. Then you hit save and you're good to go, right? Simple as that. And so that's really how simple it is to run a Facebook ad. And of course, now what you would do is you would periodically go in there, and you can see all your stats here, by the way. And you see these are all 0 right now, but it'll tell you your click-through rate and what it is, number of clicks you gotten today. You can do last 7 days, show me just today. And I love this whole Facebook interface because it's so easy to operate. And it used to be a lot more difficult years ago. And you can see why I spend north of $20,000 a month to advertise on here. And it's because I make way more than that back. And we also do this for our Fit Body Bootcamp owners and drive leads to their websites and get them traffic as well. So this is what your Facebook interface is going to look like as well. And if you have any questions about it, just again reach out to us. But it's super duper easy to run. So let's see if I can get that PowerPoint back up. All right, from current slide. So here we go. Now we're on to the last and final thing I want to talk to you about before we take some questions. And that last and final thing, because I always like to talk about one external marketing system, and in this case I gave you two. It was how to get Facebook leads using a free system and a paid system, right? And both of these you can dial in today and start getting traffic tomorrow. And the other thing is an internal marketing system. And the internal marketing system I want to talk to you about is obviously referrals. That's really one of the biggest and best internal marketing systems. And I got this idea yesterday because I was working out at Kara's boot camp in the morning. All this month, well, I'll make a quick story of this. I took on a 100-day beer challenge. I drank about 2 to 3 beers a day for 100 days. I'm not a drinker. So, of course, with beer comes chips and almonds and all that yummy stuff. And so I gained about 16 pounds. I did this between March and July 23rd. July 23rd was my 100th day. I gained 16 pounds because when I do something, I go all the way. Pretty stupid of me. And since I'm not a big drinker, I really just took to this whole beer drinking business, and I thought it'd be a cool challenge, just like the whole MMA challenge I did and the running a marathon and all that nonsense. So I've now committed to losing the 16 pounds, and the best way to do that is not only through my workouts that I do, because I love lifting weights. I just love lifting heavy, and I do hill sprints at home. But I figured, hey, I'm going to go to Fit Body Bootcamp 3 days a week for the month of August, and I'm going to sweat my ass off. And let me tell you, some intense workouts, and I'm burning a ton of calories. But I actually overheard a client come up to Kara yesterday. And by the way, Kara is the queen of adding value to people. And I explain what all that means in just a second. But this person came up to Kara and said, hey, I got this person I want to send to you, and I'm just curious, what's the best way for me to connect them with you? Should I connect you guys via email? Should I give her your phone number? Do you want her phone number? Except she has this knee injury, and so I thought I'd tell you about that first. And Kara was just like, hey, you know what? No problem. Here's how you're going to connect us. And thanks for telling me about her knee problem. We'll definitely work around that for her during her first workout or two, make her feel comfortable. And this client was just going way out of her way to refer people to Kara's Fit Body Bootcamp. And the reason is because there's another way of getting referrals without even trying, and that is adding value, right? Now, value today more than ever. Your clients want more value for their money, and that's just how it is. For every dollar people spend, they want more value delivered to them today than they would have wanted 5 years ago, even a year ago, because, obviously people are, a little hard up on cash. The economy is what it is, blah, blah, blah. And so value is a hot commodity. Now, true value is achieved when you deliver these 3 things. Now, you would think people come to you just for results, but they don't. That's just 1/3 of the solution. True value is delivered when you give them the results that they want and that you promised them in the time that you promised them. So you're never going to overpromise and underdeliver. In fact, you're going to overpromise and overdeliver, right? I mean, that's really the way to go about it. Give them the results that you promised and help them achieve those goals that they signed up for. Number 1. Number 2. When they know, like, and trust you, when they feel they have a good rapport and relationship with you, value is actually increased. They've surveyed people, customers, and when they feel that they have a good relationship with the business owner, the employees of that business, when they feel they have a good relationship, value is increased. So do the small, detailed stuff to increase value via building a relationship, right? And those things could be, knowing everybody's name when they walk into your facility, high-fiving them throughout their workout. If somebody forgets their water bottle all the time, have some water bottles handy to give it to them during their workouts, right? It's really the attention to detail, the things you would do to your friends and family in your house to build a rapport and relationship with them, you should be doing in your facility. And the third thing is experience. When people have an over-the-top client experience, they perceive that, they equate that to greater value, right? So if they're having a fun time, if there's a sense of camaraderie amongst you and your clients, if you're running every other month, you're doing a client appreciation party. If you have one of my coaching clients has a jeans party where she invites all her clients to her home and feeds them wine, and there's this lady who comes and sells designer jeans for like a big discount, and so it's a total win-win. These women get to buy jeans at a discount, they get to drink wine together, they have a great experience, their relationship is deepened, and of course, as long as she's giving them results in addition to all of that, they will always continue to over-deliver value, right? They'll see it as this person is over-delivering on the value, and therefore they'll continue to give you referrals. And that's a really powerful thing, because oftentimes people will ask, well, hey, what's the best strategy to get leads and referrals? What's the best tactic to get more referrals? What contest should I run to get more referrals? And here's one that really you're running all the time, and it's simply giving amazing results, building an awesome relationship with people, and making sure they have a fun, awesome, amazing experience at your facility, and they will organically, naturally deliver referrals to you. And that way, when you run referral contests and promotions, you'll see that people are super hypersensitive and they're excited about giving you referrals because they like you. And we typically will do things for people we like, and we won't do things for people we don't like or can't tolerate, right? So I hope you understand what I mean here. So with that said, I think we ought to take some questions if you guys have any. And in fact, I left this picture here because I thought it was really cute. And this is from last time, those of you that were on their webinar. So if you have questions, now is the time to type in your question in that little question box, and I will gladly answer it for you. If you don't have questions, that's fine too. What we're going to do is we're going to put the recording of this webinar up on the Fitness Business Accelerator membership site. It'll probably be up there within, I'd say 2 hours or so, along with any of the resources that I talked about here, and you'll have total access to it. And then, of course, you can start hooking up your phone calls with either Fernando or Cable for your coaching calls. Don't forget to take advantage of those. So it looks like Brian Calicky says, bootcamp games are great for building value and creating an experience. Just saying. You know what, Brian? You're 100% right, my man. And I really, really think that you hit the nail on the head with that product, because it's something that gives them amazing results, an amazing experience. It builds this whole relationship and likability factor, and really positions you as a unique and original place. So good job with that. Any other questions, guys, that you guys might have? I'm not seeing any questions popping up here, so I'll give you guys another 30 seconds here for questions, and then what we'll do is we'll wrap up this webinar today, and you guys can go and make your Facebook ads and run your Facebook promotions and kick ass with it, right? Because at the end of the day, what we don't want to do is we don't want to deal with anxiety, we don't want to deal with stress, and so we're going to take some serious action. We're going to alleviate anxiety, and we're going to market the hell out of your personal training and bootcamp businesses. So let's see here. Bill Carney, what does Bill say? B, are you still putting on the monthly workouts on the Fit Body Bootcamp sites? Yes, Billy, for you Fit Body Bootcamp owners, we are loading workouts each and every month, a ton of them. Billy, I think we put on way more than 3. But you should definitely log into the trainer section, Billy. Maybe you're logging into the owner section. Log into the Fit Body Bootcamp trainer section, and you'll see all the new workouts that were added, because I got to review them recently, and they were super awesome. So do that, and if you can't find them, reach out to me or Fernando, and we'll definitely get those to you. For whatever reason you can't see them, they're on the Fit Body Bootcamp membership site. All right, Gavin, thank you so much, man. Gavin says, great content, Bedros. Thank you. You're very welcome, sir. I appreciate the feedback. Let's see here. Sean says, Hey Bedros, what is the best image to use on Facebook ads? You know, Sean, there's really not like one specific best image to use on Facebook ads. You know, like using this picture here with this kid pulling I don't know, whatever it is, 1,000,000 tons, would be a cute one. Anything that gets attention, right? Now, Facebook won't let you put like before and after pictures and things that might, offend people, obviously, for all the obvious reasons. But outside of that, kind of like that obscure picture that I showed you in the Facebook ad, that I had. People just working out. Maybe somebody fit. Doing something unique and original on a Bosu ball or an exercise ball, even if it has nothing to do with your business, Sean. Because I know your boot camp is total like military style. With people pulling and pushing tires. That doesn't matter. Anything that'll get attention and get people to your site, right, is what we need. And if you want to show people pushing tires or pulling tires and running around with makeshift rifles, which I think is an awesome idea, by the way, and I can't wait to come and visit you and do one of your boot camps. You can do that too, but something to get attention. I've seen black and white pictures work. It has to look kind of obscure. It has to be attention getting. So the best thing you can do is when you're on Facebook, take a look at that right-hand column and see which of those pictures really get your attention, right? Odds are whatever gets your attention is probably getting other people's attention, and look for pictures like that. And let's see here. Sean says, yes, bright colors, hot chicks and bright colors. Yes, absolutely, my man. Let's see. Okay, Tom from the UK says, great call, mate. Time to apply the knowledge. Calls with Cable. Yes, sir. Make sure you connect with Cable. Take advantage of that guy. Shauna says, thank you. You're very welcome, Shauna. Thanks for the feedback. You're awesome. Sean Francis says, what are the top 3 tested headlines for Facebook ads? Ooh, you know what, Sean? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back and look for those top 3 headlines, and then we're going to add them in the resource site under this webinar. So, in fact, I'll find you the top, how about this? I'll find you the top 5 or 10 headlines, and we'll see if we can even get some pictures up there for you guys, some images for you guys to swipe and deploy. Huh? We'll make it done for you. So, Johnny says, thank you, Bedros. You're very welcome. From Puerto Rico, my man Johnny from Puerto Rico. I'm so thankful for all the information. The Ambassador Bootcamp rocks. Oh, cool, man. I'm glad that you did the Ambassador program. I'm glad it worked for you, man. It works in Puerto Rico, works in the U.S., works everywhere. Holy cow, you've had around 40 people sign up for your Fitness Ambassador program, Johnny. That is awesome. Thanks for the feedback, man. Glad to hear that you're kicking ass with that. Thank you, Sean. That's why I'm the best. You're so awesome, dude. All right, see you in Vegas, Brian. Absolutely. Thank you, my man. I'll see you in Vegas at the Mastermind coming right up. And thank you, Sylvia. You are super awesome as well. You guys rock. This is Bedros Keuilian signing off as I lose my voice. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. Goodbye.